brand piece, we've done the tech piece, from Vishal, from what he's done. And I'm going to come back to Vishal. I'm really excited to know about what your plans are, and if you really launch. When is the FAU-G happening? Because it's meant to be end November. Is it really on end November? Is it? Really incredible is FAU-G, which is Fearless and United Gods, the game that's going to be kicking every game's back in the world. And that's something that we really are looking forward to. It's going to be released really soon. That's being worked on by an organization right here in Bangalore called nCORE Games. And what's even more amazing is that Akshay Kumar and Vishal together have decided to invest 20% of their net revenues towards Bharat Ki Veer Trust. Now that's really really incredible. So I mean I can just go on and on about Vishal invest 20% of their net revenues towards Bharat Ki Veer Trust. Now that's really really incredible. So I mean I can just go on and on about Vishal. Then let me just, because we're running short of time. Right up after that is Shreyas, my buddy, he has founded Insider, Paytm Insider. It's a platform to discover the best of events, travel, and food around you. I mean, that's a culmination of everything that we all need as human beings. What's even more amazing is that they've, during the COVID period, while it is supposedly looked at as a disruptor, they've taken advantage of it and created some incredible IPs called front and center, private parties, shout outs, and so on and so forth. And I think I'm going to get him to talk about it, because you've got artists who are going to come and personally speak with you in your living rooms, who will give you messages. You've got, you can watch theater, and you've got Hunger Incorporated, where, they'll be giving, curating food and so on and so forth. And of course, Ghar Se Museum, sitting in your homes and the comfort of your homes, you're going to be able to visit museums all over, and much, much more. I'm sure there's a lot that he's going to be able to tell us. And of course, we've also got Santosh. Most importantly, just to say, Santosh is an amazing person that I've met with recently. Some of the most stellar stuff that he's done, right? He's really savvy. Number one is Mercedes has, despite the whole pandemic, have sold the highest number of luxury vehicles in the country. And he has been the reason for it, not just from a marketing perspective, from a customer service perspective. He has done, just a sec. I mean, I've got to sort of take a look at his stellar sort of, resume. I mean, he's been part of, sorry about that, marketing, sales, retail, customer services, CSR initiatives, and so on. And he's been the reason for the luxury drive that again, live that happens.
Entire attention is 100% immersed into the event. And that is a very, very different scenario. What you are all facing today is what we are at the gaming industry talk about all the time, which is people's attention now is going smaller, and there are a million events happening parallelly. And the consumer always has an option to see a video recording of it. So the question really goes back to that: what is it that you are going to give somebody at a live event for them to pay money for, which they cannot get later, or which may not even be of interest to them? And which is where the gaming industry cracked it much earlier. So we talked about what is called the freemium model, where the entire content is free. What you are really monetizing is engagement. And within that, we talk about three major categories. We call what is called hyper casual games, where people would spend 3 to 5 minutes. We talk about mid-core games, where you may end up spending 10 to 15 minutes. And hardcore games, which are largely console-based games, where you would spend hours playing a game, but then the audience for that is very, very small. And if you really map that back to the entertainment events or the live business, you go back to the same thing where, of course, there are going to be people wanting to come and see, all the big stars, and whether it is, the big movie stars or the big rock stars performing. But that's a very small segment. The larger part of the segment of events, which, Insider and all the other guys have listed, I think personally, till you do not start thinking of this as a gaming company or somebody who's looking at actively immersing people, I'm sorry to say, you are not going to get much eyeballs or revenues out of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you.
And
Yeah, go
yeah,
on. Sorry. Yeah.
and just to talk about technology, see, technology is always going to be one step ahead of what we are all doing.
Yes.
Already we are talking about, one of the things in gaming, we talk about latency all the time and
Yeah.
ping rates all the time. This was never a
That's right.
problem because we were never looking
Yeah.
at having simultaneously so many people. But today,
Yeah.
a game like Fortnite is where
Yeah.
events are happening because they are right now becoming the virtual stadiums where they have millions of footfalls. They have figured out how to deal with latency and how to deal with, at the core itself, engaging people. So I know I have
Yeah.
now seen so many agencies trying to create their own virtual worlds and their own Zoom platforms. And
Yeah.
I'm believe me, we are going to have a graveyard of all these companies soon because they are
Yeah.
forgetting the fact that consumers have moved much ahead. A
Yeah.
consumer today, I don't know how many of you are into playing games, but right now consumers gaming has India has recorded the highest amount of gaming downloads in the world.
I'm
so uh,
absolutely with you.
so
Yeah.
so the gaming community is really moving far ahead. They are actually broadcasting it. But when I see the standard events, for example, now again, no offense to anyone, I now see live events where they're recording people and then showing it on the live event, and I'm like, dude, what is the whole point of doing it? If it is recorded, then what is the point of doing it live?
That's right.
Whole
Yeah.
idea of live is that I and you at the same universal time scale are synchronously connected. That's what gaming is all about. And that is the thrill, that while I am interacting, you are interacting at the same time. But
Yeah.
right now, there are so many events which are pre recording and broadcasting. And the minute an audience comes to know that this is not live, they
Yeah.
are going to go and switch off
Intuitive.
and move ahead. So I think there's a lot to learn. Of course, nobody was prepared for this scenario right now.
Yes.
So I'm sure, a lot of members of the whole entertainment and events industry are going to start learning. But my first
Vishal,
advice to
we
all
are
of
unable to
you is,
hear you. Having really sort of killed it as far as the luxury car segment is concerned, and having done incredible numbers. So we've done the
we can't give you exact dates yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, no worries, no worries. We look forward to that. We'll look forward to that for sure. So, most importantly, Shreyas, I mean, look at the kind of leap that you've taken. I mean, at the time at which you've come in and the kind of moves that you've really made, and giving everyone around.